All right. Shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, and Kakwadash. All right, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who teach his word in truth and sincerity. All right, salutations to the hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, preaching this gospel, in truth and sincerity. All right, this is Brother Lamont,
Brother Loyash.
and we with it's like we with the camp in here in Wisconsin. All right. And the title of this lesson, as you see, it says listening is an art. Okay. And the reason why I chose this lesson, I chose this the topic is because I was recently in a situation, you know what? Actually, the first thing is first, all right? So I was meditating and I always thought about how we are on the highways and byways, right? And you have that certain, that certain scoffer or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call them. They come up to us, and they try to overtalk us, they're not willing to listen. They want to give their 2 cents. They want to speak what they think they know, and
don't be knowing nothing, man.
Right, that's right, and don't know nothing at all, And I was in that same situation, I felt, how can I say? I felt as if I was one of them, and that's because like I said, I was in that same situation. Whereas I went and I spoke when I wasn't supposed to speak.
So I wasn't. Go ahead.
I was in a position where I maybe I should have listened. I should have just stepped back and did more listening than hearing. I mean, listening than speaking.
And you know what? Like just going off what you said, Aki. That's a beautiful title that you decided to use. Like listening is an art, because at the end of the day, and as a ministry, one thing we've had to learn is to listen. How to hear. Is one thing to just hear the words that are being said unto you, but it's another thing to listen and understand and internalize it. And take it in. So I can see why you entitled this lesson, "Listening is an Art."
God. All right. And so I mean, that's what brought me to well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into it. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. All right, chapter 5 and verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High. And like I said, we always bring this out when they come up to the line and they want to talk and stuff like that. But it starts with us first.
Yeah.
All right. It starts with us first. And I didn't fully explain it, but I was in a situation where I was surrounded with elders. And I kind of I spoke when I shouldn't have said nothing. Okay. So it was kind of like it was a rebuke that happened. Yeah. That's what really happened. It was like a rebuke that happened. But
so like I was gonna say, what through the Spirit, what you did was you reflected on the situation, you know, and you didn't get offended, which is the beautiful thing, What you did was you said you examined yourself, because you realized that there was something that you had to learn from in this situation, and of course your name being Lamad Ya'ala, you're the one who learns. That's what Lamad means. It means to learn. So in this precept, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High. That really just goes into shutting the hell up. Knowing when to shut your mouth. When you go to the house of the Most High. When you go into 1 Peter's, the 4th chapter. It brings out how the Lord is going to judge the house of Israel first, the house of God first, So the house of God goes into us who are bringing out this ministry in truth and sincerity, And
it starts with us, like you said. All right, and be more ready to hear. All right, than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. we learn to be more ready to hear by first and foremost not being offended,
Right.
and secondly, examining ourselves. Like I said, when you are ready to hear, you're ready to take in whatever the individual is saying to you. And in this situation, the elder brothers who were around you, you had to take that in and learn it.
Right.
And giving the sacrifice of fools is just speaking aimlessly.
Right.
When you go into the book of Proverbs, I believe it talks about a fool uttering all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it until afterwards. A person that gives the sacrifice of fools will never consider that they do evil. They don't understand that they're doing something that is offensive ultimately to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Kind. That's what brings me to this precept right here. All right. This is Proverbs 17 and verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. All right. Now, that like I was explaining that was I was in a position where I should have held my peace. There's so many spiritual pointers when you're in the presence of elders that's coming out. All right, and you don't want to sit there and try to relate.
Yeah.
Think it's time for you to talk. No, and this is what I was really meditating on right here, holding my peace, because I didn't. Oh, I could say it. I was rebuked.
Yeah.
But when I thought about it later on, I was just supposed to be quiet and take note.
And what's beautiful about this precept? Like it says, even a fool, when he holdeth this peace, is counted wise. A fool being someone who doesn't discern the time. There may be times in that fool's life where they may shut their mouth and listen to what's being told to them. The scriptures literally say, even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. So likened unto us, how would the Most High, liken us in this situation? When we hold our peace, are we counted wise? Yes.
And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. You see?
Shutting your lips, learning to be quiet, learning how to keep your foot, shut your damn mouth.
Right.
That's as plain as you can give it, because Israel is stubborn, hard-hearted. Our people don't understand, like it says in Isaiah, the first chapter, our people doth not consider, just like it's saying, like you just brought out that precept in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, they consider not that they do evil.
Yep.
That's first and foremost talking about the house of Israel, man. So when you shut your lips, you're esteemed a man of understanding, because for one, that shows humility, man.
That's right.
And that's humility comes before honor, as it is written, man.
Yep. You know what? And I just thought about this. The elder, he always from the elder apostles on down, I've heard so many brothers say this, and I can say this, that is like it's now resonating with me. You got 29 years that you've been a nigga.
Yeah.
You got 29 years you've been a nigga, and you only been in truth 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You're 2-3 years old. That's when you were brought to life through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Understanding this, you were changed to a new man. You started as a babe.
And you know what? Salakia, there's a precept that came to my mind. I believe it's Ephesians, the 5th chapter, man. Because when you first come into this ministry, as a matter of fact, you can grab it from me, Shaw. Ephesians, the 5th chapter, starting at verse 15. Because ultimately, it goes into discernment, when you first come into this truth, because there's a lot of brothers that fell out, brothers that fell out of this ministry, and gave up on the living waters, which is the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, So what are we commanded by the Lord to do? This is Ephesians, the 5th chapter, starting at the 15th verse. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." They go that word fools again, man. It says not as fools, man.
Right.
So you got to walk circumspectly. And when you go into the word circumspectly, it goes back to like circumference.
Mhm.
You know, I think of the word circumference, which is like a circle,
So,
man.
yep.
You're paying attention to what's going on around you, man.
To all sides.
Come on.
You know?
And it says, "See then that you walk circumspectly," meaning, or not only are you you're using wisdom, you know, you're balanced, you know, you're discerning, you know, and you know how to discern between a fool and a wise man, which makes you what? You're esteemed as a man of understanding, you know. But it says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil." When you go into that word redeem, it goes back into buying back, you know, because we've lost so much time in the world before we came into this truth, you know, being niggas, man.
Right.
Whatever you were doing before you came into this ministry. So you're buying the time back, you know, dedicating your time to Yahweh Shem Shai. What does it say in Sirach 39? It talks about those that give their mind to the law of the Most High, man. They will, roughly paraphrase, and they will be occupied in prophecies, you know, basically going into you growing in wisdom, you know, because we're babes, man.
That's right.
So we redeem the time. We buy back that time because the days are evil, you know. And I love to go into certain words. When you go into evil, it goes into bad times, man. The days that are coming upon the earth, which is likened to Jacob's trouble, man, are going to be evil, you know. And having this understanding, walking circumspectly, not as a fool but as wise, is going to help you in those times. Can you do me a favor, Robert Kashaw, and go into Isaiah the 33rd chapter? But I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read the rest of this precept, verse 17, and then I'm gonna go into Isaiah 33.
So you want to read this first?
Yeah, Ephesians 5. I'm gonna go down to 17. Salakia. I should have said that. But verse 17, it says, "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is." And what is the will of the Lord? You know, for him to be glorified and for this ministry to be pushed, for the elect to be awakened, man. You know, and how can that happen if you are walking as an unwise individual, man?
You out of order.
Right.
It's out of order.
Because you don't understand the will of the Lord, man. You know, because there's too many doctrines, there's too much temptation out here, you know, that's pulling us or pulling people, should I say, in so many different directions, you know, which leads me to Isaiah the 33rd chapter, you know, because it's what's going to keep us stable. This is our foundation at the end of the day, when we wake up and when we go to bed at night. I believe it's Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." This is our treasure, man. This is our storehouse. What is it saying? I believe the book of Matthew, it talks about storing up treasures in heaven, man. You know, that goes into your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The living waters, the Holy Spirit, man. That is your stability. That's your foundation of your times. And because the days are evil, because the times that are coming upon the earth are going to be so damn wicked, man. People are going to they're going to wax worse. You know, this understanding that we've been blessed with by Yahweh Shem Shai is the stability of our times, man, and the strength of our salvation. It is literally what is going to help you in those times. Like when the Lord comes back, are you going to be occupied in this ministry, meditating on Yahweh Shem Shai? Or are you going to be doing whatever the cares of his life is, man? You know? So this understanding is the strength of our salvation. The fear of the Lord is our treasure. And what is the fear of the Lord? The beginning of wisdom. So it all goes full circle. Circumspectly, walking circumspectly, man. You know, redeeming the time. It's a beautiful thing, man. I believe you said you had a precept pertaining to, like, in regards to our speech. I think you said Sirach, the 32nd chapter. Was that it?
Yeah. No, I got it right here. Yep. I still had it up in the background.
Okay.
All right. Yep. So this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 7. All right, and it reads, "Speak, young man." You know, then now this is the time to talk. So you know, and that still goes into order, knowing when to speak. You know, if there be need of thee, you know, if there be need of thee. So, and the way I it's like I'm getting tongue twisted
It's
right
all
here.
good.
All right. If there be need of thee, and the way you're gonna know if it's needed if somebody tell you to speak,
Right.
an elder tell you to speak. In my situation, I wasn't told to speak,
God.
you know. And Slack, I'm gonna read this again. All right,
Okay.
this is a Sirach 32:7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee.
Salakia.
Come
Speak, young man, if there be need of thee. You know, we're young men in this ministry, you know.
on.
Especially when you first come into the truth, you're a young man. You're likened unto a babe, you know. And what is the babe? I believe it's Salakia, if I'm wrong, I believe it's First Peter. Salakia, brothers out there, if I got this precept wrong, it talks about being babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word. You know, we are young men, which will be babes, man. You know, and us speaking, knowing when to speak, is whether it's needed or not, man.
Right.
You know, when older brothers are around us, we got to be able to understand that. So us as young men got to know when to speak.
That's
you know, if there be need of thee. That's why it says if there be need
there
of thee,
be-
man.
Kind.
If that's a very important word, man,
Mhm.
which goes into what discernment, man.
Kind.
If there be need of thee, you got to know what that means.
Yep.
Does this brother need your input at this time?
Mhm.
Maybe, maybe not, man. And that's where your discernment through the Spirit comes in, man.
And yet scarcely when thou art asked twice. That mean, hey, that mean you. Should I know it? I know.
Yeah.
You got to really think about it. Should I say? Should I talk now? Or
Yeah.
you discerning what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You know, discerning what you're gonna say. If you really need to say, or
Yeah.
you know,
When you go into that word scarcely, I think it goes into barely, you know, yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. You don't want to speak more than you spoke the first time, man. Which it all goes back into discernment, man. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know, and you grow, you know. And as a babe, of course, you may have to be rebuked, you know. It makes me think of Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, where it says, open rebuke is better than secret love, man. It's better to be rebuked, you know, and to be told to shut the hell up, you know when to speak, yet scarcely when thou art twice asked, man. You know, because that'll help you even on the highways and byways, man. Because if people are coming up, you know, how are they going to be able to tell the difference between you and that individual, man, if you don't know how to be quiet?
Right.
So this is what us as young men, speaking young men, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked, man. Speak less than you did the first time.
Right. Hell, we can keep going.
Come
All
on.
right, verse 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. All right. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue. All right. You don't need to speak out on everything. And if you do have something, you know, get right to the point, say what you got to say, and then be quiet. You know, comprehending, getting understanding.
Yeah.
You know,
comprehending much in few words.
In few words, yeah.
So which
Being-
goes back to discernment.
Right.
You know? Comprehending much in few words. Let's say there's 4 or 5 words in front of you, you know, you get the understanding, you know, especially through your experience, you know, you learn how to get the discernment in those few words, even when a brother is speaking to you, you know, like us speaking to one another. Let's say you say, lawyer, get this precept for me. I got to understand what precept you're talking about by what you're saying. Right. You know, you're comprehending much in few words, man. You know.
Now, verse 9. If thou be among great men.
Wait, Salakia. Did we read the last part after comprehending much in few words?
Yeah.
He is one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
I read it, but we can go back to it slightly. Sirach 32:8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I said that. Even if you know, then you don't have to voice.
Okay.
As long as you keep, you know.
Okay. He is one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to speak everything you know.
Right.
Okay.
Or you don't have to try to the way I was thinking, you even try to relate.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I've been in that situation,
Yeah.
but it's not time for you to talk. You know,
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, just keep it.
Yeah.
Understand, you know. So like,
Discernment.
discernment, kind of. Now, verse 9: if thou be among great men, and that's why I said you can just look, hold your tongue, especially great men who's been doing this longer than you, elders. You know, you have nothing to say. You know, if thou be Slakia, verse 9 again: if thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. All right. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
If thou be among great men, you know, like you said, the elders, you know, I think I instantly thought about the elder apostles, man, you know, because when you first come into this truth, of course, you have a strong zeal, you got a strong spirit on you, you know, because you're growing in understanding. You know, you may learn a few precepts over a few months, man, and all of a sudden you feel powerful, you know, and you gotta be able to discern when pride is involved, man. You know, because making yourself equal with great men shows that you're not humbling yourself, man. That goes back into humility. Make not thyself equal with them, and when ancient men are in place, use not many words. Shut your mouth when you are around men who have great understanding, man. But you got to know and be able to discern when those men are around you, man. You got to be able to discern when a fool is around you too. That's right. You know, just because they've been in this ministry a long time, don't mean that they have the correct understanding. Because there are older men out there. There are men that have had this truth for 20, 25 years, and they're breaking it down wrong, man. You know, so you got to be able to discern that too. That's right. You know, but in this regard, keeping your foot, shutting your mouth when you are around ancient men, you know, learn not to use too many words, you know, and talk and just speak aimlessly, saying things that are unnecessary, man.
And to be honest, that was pretty much that was pretty much it right there. And all right, now, like I said, listening is an art. All right. You got to be ready to listen more than to speak, especially when you're around these ancient men. All right. Yeah, it's cool. You got the zeal, you know. It's cool. You learning. You think you can relate. All right. Just hold your peace. Hold your peace and don't miss those spiritual pointers that's coming out. You know.
Yeah.
All right.
But circumspectly, man.
Kind of. Now, I hope that was edifying. You know, so for elect. I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Then, all right.
Give all praise, honor, and glory.
Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makakodash. Double honors into the apostles and elders of the great millstone. All right. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.